And yesterday, the Ministry of Trade and Industry finally unveiled the strategic investor to manage the Komenda Sugar Factory. The Indian company based in Ghana, Park Agrotech Company Limited, is a subsidiary of the Skylark Group of companies from India who won the bid to manage the Komenda Sugar Factory. On Tuesday, officials of the Trade Ministry and PricewaterhouseCoopers introduced the investor to the community and officially handed over the facility to the investor. The continuous shutdown of the Komenda Sugar Factory has not gone down well with many Ghanaians, especially residents of Komenda who were promised jobs and other opportunities when the factory was commissioned. Richard Kojonyako sent in the following report right after the unveiling.
It's a dream come true, at least during my tenure of office as the paramount chief of the traditional area. We have all fought for it, but I remain the #1 winner.
The Omahine of the Komenda traditional area, Nana Kojo Kru II, expressing how relieved he is when the Trade Ministry introduced the much talked about strategic investor for the Komenda Sugar Factory.
Sometimes I will do my best to avoid even the press, the media men. And you can see the sort of situation I went through, even trying to avoid your own people, because the questions that will be coming, sometimes embarrassing, sometimes you don't know.
There was a walk around the factory, a symbolic gesture to officially hand over the factory to the strategic investor, Park Agrotech Company Limited. The factory was shut down almost immediately after its commissioning 3.5 years ago by the previous administration. Ever since, the factory has been like a bride without a groom, being killed by loneliness. No sounds of metals to suggest the existence of life there. Weeds have taken over, cobwebs massaging the metals, while many of the parts have rusted. Acting Chief Director of the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Patrick Yaonimo, has been explaining what the occasion has been.
So the purpose is to bring him here, meet with the chiefs and people, and introduce him to them, and then come to the factory to look at its state. He's going to start working and bringing up the factory. So it's a very short visit.
PricewaterhouseCoopers transaction advisors have been explaining the processes that led to the selection and subsequent settling on this investor. Vish Ashagbo is a senior partner with the firm.
So we started off with a request for expressions of interest. There's about 15 expressions of interest that came in. By the time we actually requested formal bids, we got about 5. And then we went through a process of evaluating those 5 bids. There was a committee, an evaluation committee that was set up with representation from different stakeholder groups, including the Interim Management Committee of Komenda itself, the Ministry of Trade, and other government agencies. So that evaluation recommended Park Agrotech as the preferred bidder. But even before we got there, there was the need to do some due diligence, because we wanted to be sure that what was being presented to us by way of proposals on paper was actually supported by facts, so to speak. So a small team did go to India to conduct their due diligence with Park Agrotech and their technical partners. The technical partners are called STM Projects, who have significant experience in cultivation and processing of sugar. So the team that went to India went to see some of the work that they've done previously to satisfy themselves that they actually had the capability.
So what has the strategic investor got to say in all of this? Lalit Mishra is the managing director of the company.
This factory, like any other factory, will keep on needing ongoing investment, ongoing retooling, and if that is done, definitely it will keep running and it will bounce back.
When are you starting work?
We are waiting for the final agreements to happen. After that, we'll start working.
Okay, so we are waiting for the final agreement. It means that the final agreement hasn't come?
It is like it has been almost on the last leg of discussions that we have.
The Municipal Chief Executive for Komenda, Edna Eguafebrim Municipality, Nana Apiakrang, is optimistic the handing over ceremony should put to rest issues about the Komenda Sugar Factory. He believes the intent and purposes for the establishment of the factory is not lost yet and could be worked on.
But the extent of my happiness is beyond human comprehension, because I've been harassed by my people about this very factory. And today I'm very, very happy. I'm excited. I am more than happy that at the end of it, by all means, the factory will come to fruition. What I'll say is we have confidence in him. Therefore, we are expecting that he will do the right thing.
The Ministry of Trade says Cabinet has approved the National Sugar Policy to guide and support the private sector investment in large-scale integrated sugar development projects. That's sugarcane farming, milling and refining. The Komenda Sugar Development Company, according to government, thus becomes a prime beneficiary of the policy. This government explains is in line with its policy of ensuring that every district has at least a major factory to drive industrial development and provide job opportunities.
From the Komenda Sugar Factory, my name is Richard for Joy News.
A member of parliament for KEEA, where the sugar factory is located, joins me now. Good morning, Mr. Samuel Atta Mills.
Good morning, madam, and good morning to your listeners.
Thank you very much for joining us. If you just stay on the line, we also have correspondent Richard Kojo-Nyako, who is joining us with some background checks of the company that is taking over the management. Richard, let me start with you. What have you found so far about the company that is taking over the Komenda Sugar Factory? Hello, Richard.
Subsidiary of the Skylark group of companies from India, and it is based in Ghana. So this Skylark is one of the largest integrated poultry companies in India, and we are told that they have a turnover in excess of $150 million US. Information from their website indicates that they are engaged in mechanized farming and poultry, and what they do specifically is the production of fruits, vegetables, and cereals. In 2018, January, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, made a visit to Park Agrotech Company Limited, the company in the supply of day-old chicks located at Pedra in the eastern region on December 22nd last year. In 2017, the Ashanti Regional Poultry Farmers Association also called on the Ministry of Agriculture, particularly the Directorate of Veterinary and Animal Production, to check the activities of this same Indian company. They are hatchery based in the Pedra in the eastern region. The spokesperson for the association, Mr. Isaac Esiao, spoke in an interview with the media, says the Busia Dewus Kofi Achimkwa Nana urged the directorate to intervene and stop the activities of the company to prevent the poultry industry from collapsing. According to him, the activities of the company, Park Agrotech Company Limited, were undermining the country's quest to reduce poultry imports and also causing financial loss to most poultry farmers. The farmers were accusing the company of supplying unhealthy day-old layer chicks to farmers in the country. We also do know of the engagement of the same company by former President Mahama following the agitation by the leadership of the poultry industry. So that is what we do know. So mostly they deal with poultry and other things. But as yesterday it was suggested to us by the PricewaterhouseCoopers that they did a lot of due diligence. Even they constituted a team that traveled to India, the parent company, to do a lot of checks on them. That is what we do know about this company.
Richard, clarify for me that with all the issues that were in the poultry industry or with this company and the poultry industry, what exactly are we pivoting this decision to actually hand over the sugar factory to them?
So that is the question many people are raising, that they feel these people are not really cut out for the job, because what you read about them are mostly vegetables, cereals, and then the poultry industry is what they are really noted for. And they were questioning why they should settle on them. But they, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers, 5 bid for this contract, and then they were selected, and they did all those checks. They ensured that these people had the requisite capacity, and they feel that if these people are given the nod, they will be able to turn the fortunes of the Komenda Sugar Factory around. And from the checks we have made, we were told that they were going to inject $28 million into the Komenda Sugar Factory. So people at Komenda, for instance, yesterday, they were not really enthused about this, because it was commissioned a few years ago, it was shut down, and nothing had happened. And so they have adopted the wait and let's see attitude or approach. They want the jobs and the opportunities they promised them I mean, if the person will be able to execute the job that has been handed over to him, that is what they are looking for.
Right, okay, thank you very much for that, Richard. Let me speak to Mr. Samuel Atta-Mills now. Sir, so the government has succeeded in securing the much-awaited strategic investor. What are your initial thoughts?
Again, thank you very much and good morning to your listeners. This company that they picked, I don't know much about them. I have met the general manager through a mutual friend, and he expressed his interest in the sugar factory. But all these processes that the government has gone through in selection of this company, I don't know anything about it. The member of parliament for Komenda Sugar was not concerned, was not involved in it. So I don't know much about this company and some of the issues that you are speaking about. But if this company can do it, hooray, we'll praise them, we'll work with them, we'll cooperate with them. Because this sugar factory has been lying idle since 2016. This was a company that was, it was supposed to produce sugar for the country so that we can reduce our foreign exchange dependence, our dependence on foreign exchange to order import sugar. And it's also supposed to provide jobs. At least 7,500 direct and indirect jobs for that area. It's a welcoming news. I wish the company well, and I hope that whatever issues they may have had in the poultry industry will not be the same as they will have in the sugar factory. I'm prepared to work with them. What we need is jobs. If you go to Komenda right now, it's almost a ghost town because they are either fishermen or farmers. Now, fishing industry has almost died out there because this government that came in has not been able to provide enough permits for them to go to fish. So most of the fishermen, if you go to Komenda right now, most of the men out there have either gone to Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone, or whatever other West African countries to go and fish out there. So it's mainly grandmothers and grandkids. This is not how Ghana is supposed to be. So if this company will come and help and run this Komenda Sugar Factory and provide jobs, I'm sure most of the farmers will, most of the young men will come back and then get involved in the sugar production. I know the value of sugar factory because the old one that was built about 2 kilometers away from this one was very vibrant. And I, as a kid, I used to sell newspapers, toilet paper, and all kinds of things. And it really helped not just the constituency, but the whole region. The whole region. So it's a welcoming news. I pray for the new company. I hope they will deliver.
Well, earlier this year, you raised some concerns about the processes that government was employing to get the investor. Do you still have concerns, or do you have concerns about anything else? Or are you just really focused on the fact that if they can come and they can do the work, then that's all that really matters?
Look, I have lots of concerns, but my main concern is for this sugar factory to start running.
Okay.
The government of Ghana spent $35 million to build this thing. Why would we let it go to waste? So if this, I have so many concerns, but that's not the most important one. Is to get this factory going, and then we'll go back and then look at the other concerns, the valuation of the factory, why we allowed it to lie vacant like this for this many years. But that will be something else that will be at the background. But if the company is ready to run it, we are ready to help it succeed.
Right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Samuel Atta-Mills, the Member of Parliament for Komenda Sugar Factory.